This is a warning, an eye-opener, and an example of what is now prevalent in even academia. So this is just something I want to share with you because I desire to teach you what I learned, to give examples and illustrations of things that are going on so that you know how to do research. You might have just done research very well, published even many articles possibly. You might have even been a prof like me, but this doesn't guarantee anything because you may just be parroting something that is untrue. And I want to warn you that when you use statistics, you should make sure you check thoroughly where they come from. So I just read this X message dating from yesterday, debunking the claim that 83% of fatalities in Gaza are civilians. Few aspects of the Gaza war have been more weaponized than fatality statistics. The latest claim, published yesterday in a magazine and in The Guardian in the UK, is that 83% of fatalities in Gaza are civilians. On the surface, it looks like hard data, the kind that might prove Israel guilty of indiscriminate killing or even genocide. But it's nothing more than a statistically sleight of hand, a number manufactured on flawed assumptions, selective counting, and deliberate omissions, particularly. This is not sloppy analysis or an innocent mistake. It's a deliberate manipulation of numbers designed to manufacture a false charge of Israeli criminality. At present, we have only two main data points on casualty, neither of which is verifiable. Experts note that the very idea of tabulating fatalities in real time during an active war is preposterous. Hamas, an internationally recognized terrorist group, claims 62,000 people have died in Gaza without disclosing combatants killed. Israel reports at least 22,000 combatants killed, 20,000 widely cited, and another 2,100 since the March 25 ceasefire expired. Taken at face value, these numbers yield a civilian to combatant ratio of under 2.1. This figure is not only within the norms of modern urban warfare, is far lower than the 3.1 to 5.1 ratios reported for US and Allied campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan. For anyone pushing the genocide narrative, the lower Gaza numbers collapse the claim. That is why anti-Israel activists and their media allies twist the figures. First, they inflated Gaza's toll beyond even Hamas claims, debunked here. Now they have shifted to undermining Israel's count of combatants killed. The objective is always the same: to manufacture numbers that can be wielded as evidence, unquote, of Israeli criminality. The target is not only to reach a 5.1 ratio, but to stretch both ends until they can claim a 9.1 ratio, closer to the threshold needed to brand the war as genocide. The centerpiece of the new claim rests on a single data point. According to a classified database, unquote, without any detailed disclosure, writers assert that as of May 25, the IDF had killed only 8,900 combatants in Gaza since 10.7, far below the 20,000 it reported. From this, Abraham conjures the statistic that, unquote, 83% of the dead are civilians, unquote. The calculation is crude. Take Hamas' then claim of 53,000 total deaths, and then subtract 8,900 and label the rest civilians. The IDF rejected the story, stating that, unquote, the figures presented in the article are incorrect and do not reflect the data available on the IDF systems, unquote. After publication, it reiterated its position, calling the claims, unquote, not only false but also a reflection of a fundamental lack of military understanding, unquote. The 8,900 figure is not evidence, it's a statistical distortion. Even Abraham admits that it counts only combatants killed who were identified by name. I'll just stop reading now and emphasize that I'm not taking position in or against somebody or any group. I'm just saying that for academic purposes, before you concoct anything, before you write anything, before you collect any data, whether they are mathematical, statistics, or anything, check who is talking. And like the Proverbs, the Igbo Proverbs says, you cannot see the man well from one angle only. And Chimamanda Adichie also said that there is more than one story. And so you have to listen to both and then see what led them to give you this data. Are the data flawed? Are they infiltrated by their own opinion, their preferences, or are they true? Because there is something like truth and lies. And more you can see that the world is dividing into one and the other. Jesus said, you are either for me or against me. And he also said, I am the truth. So you can be either for the truth or against the truth. And anything that is not true is lie. Simple. There's no shades of gray. There is no mix. There is no 2 or 3 ways of looking at things. Even though you may believe that. The truth is the truth. And it's my truth cannot be my truth, yours, and the third person will have his truth or her truth. No. There's only one truth in every situation. You are either dead or alive. You are either educated or not. And of course, you need to define. Whatever you are studying needs to be defined. What is it you want to prove? And we know that because we are so involved into biases, we tend to twist and tweak the truth. And that's what it is about in that post. So my colleagues, my friends, don't collect any data without verifying them properly. Not the way BBC does, proclaiming it is verified when it's not. And then, before you publish, check where you publish. And don't deceive people by publishing what is not true. Because you know that you have a responsibility. We all have a responsibility. Whatever we say, people will read. Anytime I put a post there, within 15 minutes, people started watching it. When I publish, people will be reading it. And the more I publish, the more they will know who I am. And then they will say, well, must be true because it is so and so. Don't lead people to hell by your lies and your compromises. Be honest, thorough, and serious. Let's do that.